Hey, how's it going today? And I'm excited to bring you this tutorial on the Unreal Bridge in LightWave. One of the greatest things that happened to LightWave is they updated a bridge between LightWave and Unreal, and I was really excited about that when that happened. And right now, as of 2020, it's current up to Unreal Engine 4.25. Unreal Engine 4.26 just came out, so hopefully in a future update, LightWave will have the bridge for 4.26. But I'm going to just show you just real quick and dirty how to get started. But before I do, I just wanted to give a word from our sponsor. Today our sponsor is VizRT. For bad product management done right, if you have a asset or a product and you're trying to kind of mess it up, VizRT is your company you can go to. For example, let's say you've got a software program like LightWave 3D and you've publicly made a statement that your focus is going to be on supporting the adoption of this latest version of a software. Let's say you've got this software and it's worth $1 million or something and you're going to market it and support its adoption. Well, what you do is you have a Twitter account with 7,000 followers and you don't update it. So that's VizRT for you. So please support LightWave and VizRT. Thank you very much. Now back into the tutorial. So here we are in LightWave. Now this tutorial assumes that you already have Unreal Engine installed, and there's a lot of tutorials on how to do that. They can't make it any easier, to be honest with you. And if you go into the library, you can install various versions of Unreal Engine. So I just happen to have 4.22 and 4.26. I actually was in Unity and moved over to Unreal because I think it gives more cinematic imagery with Unreal. I had more problems with Unity than you can imagine. And I went pretty far into Unity and then I just decided, I really want something that's more cinematic, and I think that's Unreal Engine. So I was glad to see LightWave build the bridge. So anyway, to get started on this, I'm going to be jumping around in my files on my computer, so hopefully there won't be anything bad in here. What you do to get started is you just go into Program Files. You're going to go into New Tech. Like I said, I think I'm in, I've got a bunch of LightWaves here. I'm in 2019.03. So what I'll do is back in here, I'll go into that file, and then you go to Support, and you go Plugins, and you go, wait, no, that's not right. Support, third-party support. I'm sorry about that. And you go into Unreal Engine, and then you copy the version that you want. Now, I notice right here, I don't have 4.22 in here, so I need to go one more version up. So I need to go in here, Support, third party, and Unreal, and there it is. I was actually thinking that these bridges should be publicly available to everyone because it's really no good to you if you don't have LightWave, so why won't New Tech just make these bridges publicly downloadable somewhere? It's just a thought I had in messing around with this. So I want 4.22, so you click that folder and then you copy this. You right click it and go copy. Then we're going to go right back into our system here, and we're going to go to Epic Games, and we're going to go to Unreal Engine 4.22. We're going to go to Engine, then we're going to go to Plugins, and then we go to Editor, and in here we want to right click and paste that folder in there. This is pretty awesome, actually. One other thing we're going to do is we're going to double click here on LightWave Bridge. Click on this, we're going to right click, we're going to go Open With, and we're going to open it with Notepad and go OK. And then we're going to just install a line of code here to make our life easy so we don't have to keep restarting in Unreal every time we start the bridge. So we're going to go quote enable, oops, gotta turn caps off. Oh my gosh. Enable by default. Quote colon true comma, and then we'll just save that, and this way you don't have to keep restarting Unreal every time you open it up. Go save. Okay, and that saves that line of code in there. Okay, and that's all we got to do there. Now you got to get Unreal up and running, so let me go ahead and launch this. Hopefully it won't take too long. Sometimes it takes a while for Unreal to do its thing. I think it has to compile shaders sometimes. It's a very sophisticated piece of software, and one thing that's really great about Unreal is that it's got a lot of stuff that's kind of all ready to go. A lot of templates, and they got a lot of VR stuff. And one thing I didn't like about Unity was it doesn't have anything like that. You've got to, even just building like a first-person controller is kind of a challenge. But you come into Unreal and they've got a whole bunch of templates to choose from. Okay, so now we're in Unreal, and we're going to just go to New Project. We're just going to do a blank project and go Create Project. We'll just leave it called My Project Number 5 and go Create Project. And then you can also consult the LightWave manual on this. See, it's got to load up again. But the LightWave documentation is pretty good about this. But there's one thing that they recommend that you do, and that's what we're going to do right now, is they want you to go into, let me see if I can remember how to get to it. It's File, Edit here. Is it down here? Oh, Editor Preferences. So you go to Edit, Edit Preferences, and you go to Performance, and let's see. Oh, there's this one here that says use less CPU when in background, and by default that's usually checked, and you want to uncheck that. You should be all good to go. So I'm just going to leave everything here in this scene, and now we're going to just jump back into layout. In this particular scene I have just a cube and a sphere, and we'll go to the in-out interchange, and there's one here, Open Unreal Bridge, and you go connect, and I bet it's not going to connect. But let's see. Yeah, it's not going to connect because what I forgot to do was down here where it says Manage Plugins, you've got to click this Enabled. And then it says Unreal Editor must be restarted for the plug-in changes to take effect. And that's that line of code that we added, so we shouldn't have to keep doing this. So we have to restart it, believe it or not. So we don't want to have to do that every single time, so that's why we added that line of code. Here we go. This makes me feel good. Like I see Unreal and LightWave together. This really brightens my day to see this. Gosh, that's great. Okay, so now I'm just gonna close out that window. Now let's try this again. So let's go to connect, and it connected. Awesome. And there's all these options here. I'm not gonna go into everything, but you can bake the animations and all this stuff. And then look, we just click send, and let's jump back over into Unreal. Oh look, there it is. It came in on the ground. There's the sphere, and there is this. Now it doesn't look like it's sent in the materials, but I've got to play around with this myself a little bit here. The lighting needs to be rebuilt. Maybe that'll do something. So let's just do that real fast. You kind of get the idea of how it works. You basically just copy the folders, and then you can start sending objects. I'm not sure how much surfacing I would try to send over, but you know, it's definitely something worth experimenting with. It didn't come over. Let's see. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time today, but what if I do overwrite materials? Let's try that. Can I send it again? Let's send it again. Why not do live sync? I'll send. I wonder too, do you have to save scene as? I'm just going to save this. I don't know if that does anything. Save. Oops. Test 3, save. Okay, and let's just send it again. So let's go into Unreal and see. No, it looks like it's asking me to keep rebuilding the lighting. I'm not sure why that is. I'm happy if I can just get the basic geometry, and I'm excited. But I'm going to keep playing around with this, and hopefully I'll do an updated tutorial about this. But I just wanted to get you started with just playing around with it. I think this is an awesome direction, and I really, really hope that VizRT gets its act together and continues to upgrade this and develop LightWave. So that's all I had for today. Take care, have a great day, and I will talk to you next time.